You have insurance, probably, a policy somewhere, an agent who calls at renewal, a premium leaving your account every year without you quite looking at it. So here is the uncomfortable part. Most of what Indians call insurance is not really insurance at all. Let me make the case plainly. India is not underinsured because it is poor. India is underinsured because it was sold the wrong product, dressed up as the right one. And the bill for that quietly waits for the single worst day of your life. So fundamentals. What is insurance actually for? One job. Just one. To move a risk you could never afford onto someone who can. That is the whole idea. Not to grow your money, not to save a little tax in March, to catch your family on the day everything else fails. Now the headline number. Insurance penetration in India sits at around 4% of the economy. Most of that is life cover. A sliver is everything else. By that measure, we are one of the least insured large countries on earth. But the penetration number is not even the real problem. Here is the real problem. Even the people who are insured are barely covered at all. There is a measure for this. The protection gap. It asks a simple question. If the earner died tomorrow, how much of what the family actually needs is covered? In India, by most estimates, the answer is under 10%. Let me translate that. For every 100 rupees your family would genuinely need to carry on, the policy pays out something like 8. You are not uninsured. You are decorated with a policy that does almost nothing. So how did an entire country end up holding cover that does not cover? One reason, above all, we were taught that insurance is an investment. Endowment plans, money-back policies, unit-linked plans, all of them quietly bundle a tiny bit of protection with a slow, mediocre savings scheme and sell you the bundle as safety. It feels responsible. You get something back. But look at what it actually buys. Compared to policies at the same premium, term insurance, pure protection, can cover a young earner for a full crore. The endowment plan, at that exact same premium, covers a small fraction of it and hands you back a modest sum decades later. Same money, wildly different wall. So here is what really happened. You were sold a poor investment, wearing an insurance costume. It protects badly. It grows badly. It does the one thing it was designed to do beautifully, which is feel reassuring. And if you want to know why, do the thing you should always do. Follow the commission. A term plan pays the agent almost nothing because it is cheap. An endowment plan pays a fat, front-loaded commission for years. Now guess which one gets recommended at your dining table. But life cover is only half of the whole. The other half is the one that actually empties bank accounts every single day. Health. In India, close to half of every rupee spent on healthcare comes straight out of the patient's own pocket, at the counter, in cash, on the worst day. One of the highest such shares anywhere in the world. And in the middle sit hundreds of millions of Indians, too well off for the free government schemes, too squeezed to buy private cover. The missing middle. No net above them, no floor below. One admission away from the edge. Now, to be fair, you might be thinking, I am covered. My company insures me. Fair. But notice when that cover vanishes, the day you lose the job, which, more often than not, is exactly the season the illness arrives. Cover that disappears the moment you need it. Most is not really cover. And the government schemes are genuinely good and genuinely important, but they mostly pay for the hospital bed. Not the test before it, the medicines after it, the months of lost income around it. The gap in between is where families quietly break. Alright, enough of the problem. Here is the part almost nobody tells you, because there is no commission in telling you. Fixing this is astonishingly cheap. A healthy 30-year-old can cover their life for a full crore with term insurance for roughly the price of a monthly dinner out. A solid family health policy costs less than most people spend on subscriptions they forgot they had. This is not expensive. It has only been made to feel complicated. So, the whole thing on one page, buy term, not endowment. Keep insurance and investment in separate boxes. Cover the health of the whole family, not just the earner. Buy it young while it is cheap. And ignore anyone whose advice happens to pay their own commission. Because here is the reframe. Stop buying insurance to feel a little richer. Start buying it to stay standing. Insurance was never a place to store your money. It is a place to store your risk. And that is the strange, hopeful thing about this particular problem. Of everything that keeps an Indian family one bad day from ruin, this is perhaps the cheapest to fix. A few thousand rupees a year, spent correctly, buys back the whole missing wall. They will keep calling it a savings plan, a guaranteed return, a smart little investment. But the safest sounding policy in your drawer may well be the one protecting you least. Insurance is not where money goes to grow, it is where risk goes to disappear.